Lovely SOUQ morning. This morning, as we embark on another edition of SOUQ Business Landscape, you know what we do on the show. We take a look at headlines from across the world, from country to country, and see how these things can be implemented here and how we can rub off good, bad, or the ugly. My name is Ikenna Mbah. Remember, you can communicate with us, engage with the hashtag SBA on YouTube and across all our social media. To help me shed light on these headlines is Dr. Idahosa Osamhanze. Good morning, Doc.
Great Nigeria, Ikenna.
We have gone from good Nigeria to great Nigeria. I love it. I love
These are getting better every day.
Oh, yes. My other guest is the one that thinks he's Bond, James Bond. No, Chuck Rogers, by the way.
Good morning, Ikenna. Welcome to hashtag SBL.
Thank you. I was hoping that we would do that James Bond thing. But anyway, how is it this morning? Because it seems like there's a bounce in our step this week. Doc,
I can't see what you are saying.
because you look all bright and early before the morning. Yes, you do. Please take a look at Doc.
I don't understand what you are saying, Ikenna.
Well, the last I checked, Doc just transversed like 4 time zones in the last 3 days.
Maybe that's why. Mm. But hopefully, John Rogers, I'll be able to say the same for you.
Yeah.
On to the business of the day, business day. Customs to launch 24-hour operations to boost trade. So federal government is to unveil marine and blue economy national policies. How does this, should this make us happy, Doc? Or should we just fall in line with our last week news?
Well, I think there's nothing for me that we should celebrate. Let's see the action. I think that for me is what it is. This part of the world, we talk too much and do too little. I think that what is important is that people wake up and see things happening. And that really gladdens the heart, then people are happy. But the situation you find is where people over-promise and under-deliver.
Some call it audio money.
Oh, yes. In the last 6 months, the Ministry of Blue Economy had been announced. It's not today we're talking about unveiling policies. These things should have been up and running. Yeah, so, and I also guess that there are some also legal implications to this, of course, which needs to get to the National Assembly for ratification. So all those processes need to take some time to accomplish. So jumping on the newspaper page to announce some things for me is really not the way work should go. I feel that you should do the thing and then maybe on the day of unveiling, everybody see it and then we say, oh, yes.
And everybody's happy.
Yeah, they are walking the talk.
John Rogers, marine economy. I know it's one of the things you care about.
Blue economy, yes. For customs and the ministry, we want to see action, just like the elder statesman have said. We want to see action. Telling us they will be working for 24 hours is not new. If they automate, we won't be talking about
24 hours.
I did not expect it to work for 24 hours. How is this like supposed to be?
But you see, I think it's the basic problem we have, which of course we cannot overemphasize, is that of infrastructure. For you to be clearing at the wharf in the night, of course, even lightning had to be there. As the Apapa wharf is at the moment, it needs to be worked on. Usually, the betting facility needs to be done very well. This is how we can see things working. And that's what we have not done over the years, is investing hugely and heavily on our water bodies. We don't even need to be talking about 24 hours of work. Just imagine, for example, that we'll have, as we have a Apapa Wharf, there's a wharf in Benue, there's a wharf in Kogi, the Warri Wharf is working. and the Port Harcourt is working. All these things are transit points for vehicles to come in or a ship to come into the country.
Let's not forget Onisha too.
Yes, Onisha, yeah, of course.
Ties it up.
All those areas. In mind that we have developed these facilities, you can see the flurry of activities, not just in Lagos, but it will spread. Go to the south-south, to the southeast, to the north-central. And that, of course, again, will really drag down the cost of logistics. It's one fact that I was making yesterday when I was on earlier saying to say that, you see, the problem, which is our sickness, is that we have made so much money and we don't know what to do with the money. And people call it that, oh, it's because oil money, that's why we are sick. No, we are not sick because of oil money. We are sick because we are irresponsible. That when you get money, what do you do with that money? It's important. Absolutely very important. People take money in this part of the world, and then we start to get involved in projects that really would not add value. You remember in the heydays of Goodluck Jonathan, when the Empower project started. And that was because we have so much money.
Did we have that much money?
So we had, because money was coming. Crude oil was selling over $100 per barrel. And so what government could conceive was the fact that, oh, let's gather people, even when they are not doing anything, which of course we knew.
And pay them.
And pay them up. Now, you imagine that, for example, those volume of money were actually used to develop these port facilities we are talking about. These same people will be engaged and employed and be contributing to the economy. And this is one of the issues that I keep saying about Nigeria. See, people talk about social program. It's really sickening for me as a person. The Chinese proverb that says, don't give person a fish, because if you give person a fish, you feed him only for one day.
Can you speak it in Mandarin? The way you said it in Mandarin.
You would translate me. Yeah. No, but when you teach people how to fish, you fish them for life. So that for me should be the approach to social issues.
But you've forgotten the part of political consideration.
We need to be talking this political consideration because
you taught us you taught us the phrase political consideration.
What's the big idea? Paying people that are not working. I don't understand the rationale behind that.
Yeah, because
And
it doesn't make
it
sense.
seems not to be hidden. It's out in the open.
It doesn't make sense. You see, but this just makes government temporarily very popular.
Negatively.
Yeah. And that is because
negatively to you.
Yeah. Like the former American president says, politicians think about the next election.
Exactly.
Only statesmen thinks about the next generation.
Was that
So
Trump?
was
that Trump that said that?
No.
I was waiting for that response. He said, no.
I don't even know what to say to you right now.
Okay, on to the next headline. Dangote eyes steel dominance in West Africa. So he repeats $2.4 billion of the $5.5 billion refinery loan he took. And people are talking about his eyeing steel as well.
Okay.
This is like a one-man army thing. What's going on?
Well,
There's also the part of him being favored, over others.
Allegedly,
obviously.
Okay, so when we have,
But the good thing is he's doing good with it.
well, let's look at it from this side of it.
Yes.
Okay, we have a Dangote refinery that is working right now. Okay, is employing Nigerians, whether at top management level or not. It's employing some Nigerians and is bringing product into the market, even if we want it cheaper. But that can only work when there is competition, which we are also saying let that competition happen.
Yes.
So Bill is building. Some modular refineries are also there, but we want them to be able to also access crude, which the last time Doc spoke about it, people have sold it for some manner of some years ahead.
Into the future.
Yes, so those are also things you are dealing with. So for the steel industry, we are looking at ability of Nigerians or Africans to be able to stand and put their feet on the ground,
Please,
and get it going.
SOUQ John Rogers, mid-sentence, you were talking about the way things were going with.
Yes,
our last
we're
headline.
looking at the steel industry, and now for me, I prefer an African, be it Dangote, be it Beto, be it Bill, but let it be an African, even if it's a South African or a Ghanaian or a Cameroonian, let it be an African that is in charge of producing those refined and finished steel on African soil. That's the only way we can compete. Because if, for those that don't understand, we need this particular product in manufacturing, in spare parts, in every single bit of production line. And Africa is importing more than 90% of what that particular product is used for. So now the competition won't want it to work, but now it depends on Africans. It's time to wake up. We can't keep giving excuses. You can't keep blaming the guy that is beating you. What happened to steel constant on the ground?
We have steel in Nigeria. You know, there was
Ajaokuta has been there. The last time it was sold during Obasanjo's regime, the people that were in charge of selling it sold it, and those that bought it, if you remember very well, they didn't just come to bring it back up. They took the equipment that were there out of this country. So you're not asking, well, did they really buy it because they wanted it to work?
Yeah, but you see, for me, it's just an accolade for Dangote. I seems to be very, very impressed about all the moves. That is a man who really never say die. When you look at the historical antecedents around this refinery, you look at it from the point of view that, of course, when Obasanjo was selling off the old refinery, Dangote has actually invested with some Nigerians to buy off the refinery.
At the time?
Yes, they actually had bought it. The Warri refinery, the Kaduna refinery, the Port Harcourt refinery, Tedola, Dangote, all of them put money together to buy those refineries at that time. And Obasanjo sold it and collected the money. But unfortunately, when Yar'Adua became president in 2007, and he felt that these were critical national assets that should not be sold to just an individual. And of course, he had to buy back those refineries. Yes. So Nigerian bought back the refinery. And since 2007 to date, we have been pouring money inside that hole.
You mean the basket?
Yes, the basket that can hold water. So that's where it has been. They call it turnaround maintenance by NLPC, now NLPC. And now you can see almost 20 years after, Dangote has proven the Nigerian government wrong, that it is profitable to run a refinery in Nigeria.
That the refinery can even work in the first place.
So we are not even talking about just, this is less than a year of operation. And we can see the man paying back
half
the facility that was taken to build that refinery. That's quite impressive.
That's amazing, actually.
Quite impressive. So for me, that belief and desire to prove a point is huge. And we have seen him gotten into production of trucks recently. Oh, yes.
Even before that of recent, he also partnered with Anamco.
So you can see why the interest in the steel is huge. You just imagine that all the trucks that are servicing the whole of West Africa
coming from him
are all coming from Nigeria. And not him. This is about Nigeria.
Jesus.
And this is really what's exciting for me. You can imagine the number of people who will be employed. You can imagine the foreign exchange that are coming into this country.
That is not living.
Oh, yes. So these are huge. And this is what patriotism really means. And this is, for me, such a man needs to be celebrated for doing us and Africa proud. That we are seeing people who are also thinking this is a Ford, a Nigerian Ford we are seeing in the making, because Ford got his breakthrough through the steel company. And so, for me, it's hooray for us as Nigeria. So we are hoping that all the pressure that has been on our currency with all this move definitely will go down. And I think it was IMF that was telling our CBN that all their tightening policies won't work about inflation. And I think the rating that we work on for inflation is what Dangote is doing.
Hooray
And
for
so here,
Nigeria.
an applause for him.
Hooray for Nigeria, and more people should and would follow suit. Next headline, NNPC withdraws suit against ExxonMobil over $1.28 billion asset sale to Seplat. So NNPC filed a motion to discontinue its legal action against several subsidiaries of Mobil Nigeria as part of an ongoing settlement agreement.
Now it's clearer when the president say, I am a doer.
Which of the presidents?
President Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
Okay.
You know, it's always good for us to ask that question.
Yeah, of course.
Ask that Trump.
Yeah, no,
He says,
I was thinking it was our association president. Estate association.
not the Estate Association at all. No, the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. He says, I am a doer.
But Doc, isn't this because it's talking about the revocation of what the deal was before?
What we're talking about here is this court case that has lingered for more than 2 years, which, of course, the exit of ExxonMobil and, of course, Seplat getting hold
Yes.
to invest in that thing.
Yes.
Of course, this case has,
Take up their blocks, take up their...
yes, delayed this investment
Yeah,
from producing these results that we are all yearning for.
expecting.
Even the production of crude itself
Yeah.
was...
So this is the issue. So you are seeing all through those years, this case was on. We are just looking at it. So we see a talk and do president. 2 weeks ago, that meeting was brokered. And today we are seeing the outcome.
2 weeks.
Results are coming. Yes, that for me what it is. So this is results. So once that case gets off, Seplat, which of course is a local investment in the exploration sector of the Nigerian economy, will also be a plus for us, which means, of course, we can shore up crude production, and hopefully maybe before the year end or the year to come, we can even meet and surpass OPEC quota if we have huge investments in that sector.
Amazing, amazing. On to Financial Times, we're looking at Asia. America's tug of war over disinformation. It's only a matter of time before disinformation leads to disaster. The report says fakes, forgeries, and the meaning, I like that one, in our post-truth era is all what this headline addresses on page 13. So, disinformation, misinformation, and we're talking about the meaning of meaning.
And the problem of meaning actually is a huge philosophical debate.
As it is now, we don't even know what meaning means.
Yeah,
What meaning is meaning?
Yeah.
Exactly.
it's a huge philosophical
Even the
debate.
means of meaning, we're still looking for it. And you know, it's almost election. It's almost elections are seriously gearing up in that part of the world. And no matter what the indices of the economy is, they're also looking at China. So everybody's looking at, okay, good. How can I use this particular side of the world to gain more votes? How can I bash? How
To
can
my
I
advantage.
exactly?
So everybody's gearing up.
Not just everybody. Every single party member is gearing up, and right now you will get to see some things that are not that have no meaning, in the true sense of it.
Yeah, but I think this is one issue.
Propaganda season.
Oh yeah, of course, which has actually been the real fuel for war. Every war is one of propaganda, and now we have taken election to become war, really, and that is what it is everywhere. So what people do is that you carry this propaganda machine, and so there is so much misinformation, there is so much disinformation, deliberate effort to alter what look like. I like the way it is put. They call it the post-truth era. Because we're talking about the relativity of what truth is. And not even in this regime where you find that artificial intelligence is even mimicking people.
It's not.
That is-
Is directly recreating people.
That you are able to see somebody's voice even when he's not the one talking.
Both the form and
And-
voice. Except for
It's gotten
metadata.
worse. It's gotten worse.
No, it's not.
Okay, well,
It's-
let me
except
say
for
what. It's
metadata.
gotten beyond just that, because now you push a button and it creates your image, for instance,
Yes.
your voice, and it lip syncs the language. Then it's even gotten higher to the point where you push a button. You know how the Indian film used to be, where as you're talking, your lips don't align.
Yeah.
But now you push a button. You were speaking English, right? Like now our show, you push a button, we're beginning to speak Chinese, and our mouths are actually moving to the language, to the words.
Yeah.
That's where we are right now.
It's good.
It's so
Scary.
it's so scary.
It is scary.
It's so scary.
It's good.
Because you see, what you see here is that you see we can either make or mar the entire system.
True.
Because the what you see here is, and we're also even dealing with a generation of young people really who are very, very impatient.
And this is not for them.
What is not for them exactly?
So
What we're talking about now.
because it's like they said in scripture, the tongue is the smallest part of the body, but with the capacity to set the whole world ablaze, just like a small ruler control the ship. This is what it is. So when you have this kind of information getting on the public space, then of course you're going to see reactions, which you see on a daily basis using the social platforms on the Twitter. So Twitter has no respect for elders. So this is terrible.
You call Twitter as if Twitter is human.
It is. It's personified now. You know,
The human beings on Twitter, the ill-trained people on Twitter have no respect. Not Twitter. It's just Twitter that have refused to censor what it's coming on.
but we're expecting it to get better with Elon Musk's takeover.
So it's even the personnel of X or Twitter, whichever one you call it, that's exactly the reality, because that is what it is. The target or the audience that is serving fills his profile. So Twitter is a person.
Okay.
Twitter has destroyed many people. All right. Even the president said, you can't get on Twitter. They just be abusing you.
Yes, up and down.
Okay, next headline. Private equity avoids high taxes on $1 trillion of fees amid fury over absurd loophole. So according to a new Oxford University research, the largest private equity firms in the world have avoided paying tax incomes on more than $1 trillion incentive fees for about 25 years now.
Yeah.
You know, we talked about this on the last edition. Why more people are forced or cajoled or coerced to pay more taxes, and the taxes are going up.
Yeah, but you see, you take, for example, in the United Kingdom, within the cities, taxes is horrible. Now, people who have money, they are moving into the island to go and do business because there's a tax haven. If you go to the entire of Europe, go and check where Google, Amazon, they all have their headquarters. It's on the island.
The suburbs.
But they are just having Germany there, and they come to pay their small tax this place. Because the real purpose of every business is to make profit. Even on personal income tax, you can imagine that somebody was saying to me last week that you earn £40,000 in a year. The tax on it is 40%.
40%.
Yes.
That's 16,000.
Yeah. On £40,000. Because it's calibrated on threshold. So that even somebody was saying that he had an employee who was negotiating to be paid less to avoid getting into the threshold of the 40,000.
But that's not wise, because at the end of the day,
yeah, but because what he's saying is that, you see, it's not because they know when you are doing 40%, the money does not come to you. So you will discover that the person who is actually earning 39,000 have more money than you who is earning 40,000 because you have moved into the threshold.
So you've
Because you are paying 40%.
So
Now,
the person that is earning 39 might be paying 20%.
yes. So if you get into the threshold of 60, you are paying 60%. That's quite crazy.
It is.
Corporate profit tax in Germany is for 3%. How many businesses can you really do and make 43%?
Okay, for the tax now, is it tax on profit or tax on tax on profit?
Tax on profit, yes. So that is it. So
that will cause a lot of people to under-declare.
that's why this is why you see, of course,
declare your straight.
not just on this is why you see Oxford is saying, look, over 1 trillion is under the umbrella of tax evasion. So you're seeing that a lot of people are deliberately positioning, looking for where they can do business without necessarily have to bleed their financial blood. So this is a problem. And I have consistently argued here that the problem with us and globally, the problem with democracy as we see it today is this idea of what they call it correctness, to stay popular in the face of the people. Government is taking more than they can bite. And therefore, the pressure goes on business. And what's happening? Businesses are folding. I was watching this Chinese channel yesterday, and they were also talking about this trade war between Europe, America, and China, on the other hand. That why will America be putting eye on what they are doing in terms of production? Why are they worried? Their companies are folding. People are no longer able to do business in that environment because they are overtaxed. And Asia is working on their tax regime so that you can keep people afloat. So this, for me, is the lesson that really third world need to learn on not overtaxing a citizen, which is what we currently do.
But for we on this side, it's not just overtaxing, it's the multiple taxing.
Yeah, but it's still overtaxing.
You don't know.
Yeah, but by the time you accumulate it, you see the tax is huge. You are in one complex, local government come, in the same complex, state government come, in the same complex.
Over 10.
Okay, you've called local government, state government. Then in the same complex, the community come. Then the streets come. Then the other people that have no name, just uniforms will come. But that's not overtaxing now. That's killing taxing. Then that's why you see Cayman Island is very popular. Bahamas, very popular. You now ask yourself what business is happening there. They are all moving those businesses there because of what he said.
Low tax.
No tax, yeah.
Some no tax.
Is that
the thing?
Striving for competition.
No tax?
Some of those islands, no tax.
No tax.
But you're high on social CSR, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome. That's fun. That would be fun. That's work fun. All right, startups share value add mentors to drive growth. So value add mentors in quotes. So this shared resource model enables PE, VC, that's venture capitalists and private equity firms to oversee management effectively, right? Now, under this model, these experts are being shared across firms that have invested so that they would suggest areas of improvement in their respective verticals. We're talking tech, industry, legal, training, human. So this special set of people that have devised this model, that are trying to infuse them in these sectors for better markets and economy.
Which country is that working, right? Which country is this particular?
That's Asia.
Now, this is what we've advocated time and time again in Nigeria.
This just keeps emanating from Asia.
We keep saying it. Now, we have several startup hubs. We have several business zones. We have a whole lot of them. Now, for every of these big companies, what stops them from having a one boy? What stops them from training the next person or training the trainers to be able to get these people off their feet? Because statistics has that more than 60 to 70% of startups fail. But if they have this kind of mentorship, there is somebody to hit you in shape, beat you in shape. So this is what works.
Punches or
And
slaps.
mind you, this was not learned in school. For Asia, this is a culture where it's knowledge of business, knowledge of craft is passed on from one generation to the other, and they watch you till you become a master in it, and you do the next.
And it's similar to the Igba boy
Yes.
business modeling from East.
But we
Southeast
go
Nigeria.
to school, just like Doc will always say, and after learning what is written in the book, we forget where we are coming from and take hook, line, and sinker what is in the book.
Wow.
They now carry certificates in brown envelopes and start looking for jobs.
You see, but I think also one of
Wow.
the things that
Wow.
it's for me very instructive here is the fact that you're also looking at hedging investors' money, really, that you're not actually putting your egg in one basket. You are able to actually spread it.
And the investor is involved.
Oh yeah, but it's, this for me is in short. I was mentioning yesterday when in scriptures it said invest in 8 businesses.
Emphasis. I love the emphasis.
Because you don't know what kind of disaster that's coming upon the world. That strikes me really huge chord, because putting your egg in one basket, the risk is just high, and there'll be likely no return. So like they say those days in business, you say, oh, this is like a cash cow, serving the milk to feed the others, even when they are suffering, and that they are cheating stage or phase of life. So this for me is also something that needs really to be encouraged, even in our own domain, that we are not just focusing on just one source of business. We're just talking about recently what happened to Heritage Bank and all of others are talking about oversight function. You just imagine that banking the way it is run in Nigeria is just zero in on deductions and the rest of it. So when you have a major challenge, you find that you go under. But imagine that these people have investment in farms, have investment in industry. So all these huge crises that the revocation has caused will not be there, really.
They won't be as severely hit.
Yeah, they will not be as severely hit. So this for me is what is important. While we are earning money, we are not just thinking about what next to spend. We are diversifying, moving into other area, creating new economy completely that had not existed. And then you are able to sustain growth over a period of time.
Growth over a period of time. Next headline, Geo gets green signal to launch SATCOM services. So the approval comes even as global majors such as Elon Musk owns Starlink and Amazon's project Kuiper awaits regulatory clearances to launch their services in the country. Meanwhile, Eutelsat's OneWeb is the only other company to have already received all necessary clearances. Sounds like Elon Musk is afraid that another satellite is going up in the orbit.
But this is coming from the Gulf region.
Yes, again.
They mean business.
Oh, yeah.
They mean business. And
these are forward-thinking people.
Yes, and if there is something we should learn from them is that they are patient. They watch. They learn. They put their money where they want it to go.
You know, two of the most difficult things.
They won't depend on you for a long time.
Two of the most difficult things to acquire is patience and discipline. And these people seem to have it.
Yeah.
You see, from all the news we've been having on this show.
You see, it's quite interesting for me to see this happening. And this is coming from the Gulf states. You see,
they were written off at the point. At the point they were written off.
Yes, they were completely. You even look at it, the crisis, even in the UAE alone, in the 7 regions of the UAE, where they were fighting themselves. They only came together in 1971. And to say, why are we fighting ourselves? And they built themselves into models. So whether you are in Sharjah or you are in Ajman, you are in Ras Al Khaimah, you are in Abu Dhabi or you are in Dubai, you are fused together. Remember when they were building the tallest building in Dubai and they couldn't finish? Abu Dhabi's had to finish the project. So the name of that project changed. It used to have been Pab Jumeirah. They changed it to Burj Khalifa, which is the ruler of Abu Dhabi. They named it after him because he was the one who brought the bailout. So you see this unity,
Collaboration.
that's going on in Oman, in Qatar, Saudi Arabia, in UAE is huge. And they meet regularly. They are interconnected by both rail, by road, and everything. And this, for me, is the example of unity. You can imagine that Qatar is hosting World Cup. All the hotels in UAE were fully booked.
Neighboring country.
Yeah. And it's an hour flight from Dubai. In short, I wanted to do a conference in Dubai that time. There was no rooms. And that was for 1 month. So you can see how the economy was shared in that region. And here we are in Africa. You know, we were telling a story yesterday. While they were arguing, the light went off. And we are still arguing.
The enemy overtook.
Onto the Gulf Times business. Qatar Energy enters into 10-year naphtha supply deal with India's Haldia Petrochemicals. By the way, naphtha is a more volatile form of petroleum. It's a flammable liquid made from distilling petroleum. Looks like gasoline. It's used to dilute heavy oil, helps to move through, for it to easily move through pipelines. So we have to understand that. And this is
Again in the Gulf.
in the Gulf.
You see it? Saudi Arabia is doing incredibly well with oil, Saudi Aramco. Hugely. Making real profit from selling petroleum products.
And you know, Doc, this is the largest commitment taken by two companies ever.
10 years, Qatar, India. Okay. See, sometimes I talk about Koboko, people will look at me and laugh. For everyone that has collected...
3 mouths with pepper.
Yes, for everyone that has collected loans based on natural resources in this side of the world in Africa, they need to be flogged.
Let them be caught first.
They need to be flogged. It doesn't matter where they are. Just any once they are just crossing, if you just see them, just start flogging them. Because this goes a long way to tell you that we have made enough mistakes. We need to stop.
Yeah, it's just for us to put on a ticking cap, and I think that is what it is. You know,
no one seems to want to.
yeah, but it's a problem. See, I was in Emirates Stadium.
Which of the Emirates stadiums?
There's only one.
No, that what I want Emirates Stadium.
And you come and see what these guys are doing in Manchester. This infrastructure. And you know, the guy was telling me, and he said, see, these clubs, they were not doing well until the Arabs take them over.
And now they are money spinners.
Oh, yes. You just imagine how these guys are thinking.
And it's affecting the local economy.
Oh, yes.
Cross-board.
Yes. I saw the video.
It's,
I didn't see the jersey.
Okay, on that note, we've come to the tail end of the show. SOUQ Business Landscape. Remember, join us on YouTube and across social media, including TikTok. Yes, we're there. Hashtag SBL. My name is Ikenna Mbah. Thanks to my anti-usualist analysts. Stay tuned for more on SOUQ News Television. See ya.